Hello, hello. Welcome to Just Jenna. You have no idea how excited I am that you're here. I'll be sharing the wisdom, questions, and curious little truths I've gathered along the way. From brilliant thinkers to weird memes, from ancient texts to the knowing of nature. Some of what I've learned came from books, some from breakdowns, some from simply paying attention, and some from fumbling through it myself. My hope is that these stories expand you the way that they've expanded me. So maybe, just maybe, you don't have to trip over the same parts of life I did. And if you do trip and fall, it's okay. I won't tell anyone. Hello, my little chickens, my little buggy boos, my little baby bears, my little lizards. I don't know. You guys are all just cute little animals to me. That's what you are. Anyways, I feel like today might be one of my last episodes where I'm kind of just spewing randomly on the mic. Or perhaps, maybe I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. I have no idea. I do have an intention to be a little bit more thoughtful about the information I choose to share on the pod starting next time. Starting this week, but it'll be next week for you because I record a week in advance. You guys, I'm ready to take it a step further. I'm ready to take this pod a step further. I digress. You'll see it. You'll see. I don't need to talk about it. I need to be about it, which is actually a perfect segue into probably what I'm going to talk about because I'm just going to talk about what's been going on in my world because I feel like I could potentially be experiencing some universal themes. I know nobody is experiencing the exact situations that I'm currently in. However, like I said, universal themes. Let's get into it. So, I was just in Hawaii visiting my number one trusted confidant, my best friend, visiting her before she left the country. And I'm not going to say any more about that, but I went to go to Hawaii to visit her while I was there. I had a couple of synchronicities, a couple of people talk about becoming a massage therapist, and it felt, for whatever reason, just stuck in my brain. Over a year ago, I met someone they just got certified in becoming a masseuse. Now, there's just certain things that just end up sticking in our brains for whatever reason. I don't know, but it just stuck into my brain. And so when these other people started talking about becoming a masseuse or that maybe I could become a masseuse, again, it just stuck in my brain. It felt important. It felt like this was the next thing that I needed to do. So I get back from Hawaii. I am sitting, this is probably 2 days I get back from Hawaii after a bunch of people were just talking about massage school and becoming a masseuse, and it just got my wheels turning where I was like, is this my path? Is this what it's all been leading up to? I, Jenna, am supposed to become a masseuse? Is this what it is all about? Okay. Well, I'm meditating one morning, and after I meditate, I do some type of prayer, loving kindness, talking to God. You know the deal. Okay, you guys know the deal. And so I'm speaking to the universe. I'm speaking to whomever is listening. And I'm like, okay, if I am supposed to continue to stay on the path of masseuse school, if that is where I'm supposed to go, give me some signs. Give me a sign, please. Which first, I can see now upon reflection that I am searching so deeply for something to give me certainty, which does not exist without the action of trying it and seeing it through. Okay? Because I want so badly for future Jenna, 10 years from now Jenna, to come to me and say, hey, stick with masseuse school. That's going to be successful for you. Or say yes to this job opportunity. That's going to be successful for you. Say yes to yoga. That's going to be successful. Say yes to your writing. That's successful. Say yes to unison. That's successful. Say yes to attentive. That's successful. I'm looking for certainty so bad. I'm looking because I have a lot of hands and a lot of pots. I have a lot of seeds being planted, right? And I have no idea which one's going to be successful. No one knows. The only way I'm going to know is through the action of doing. I've already said this, but nonetheless, I think that's why I was praying and asking for a sign, because I was, again, using spirituality, using meditation, using God, if you will, I was using it selfishly. I was using it in a way to try to find certainty. I was like, give me a sign, give me a sign, give me a sign. Now, please, 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 please. Someone please give me a sign. Rather than, again, looking inward. However, I did receive some signs. That day, after my meditation, I was watching a YouTube video and I was like in the bathroom. Maybe I was like getting ready or doing something. There's a YouTube video playing. And then I heard, like, if you want to become a masseuse, go to massage school. And I'm like, girl, there's no way. That doesn't count as a sign. It doesn't count. Then, after that video, I go downstairs and Mikey shows me an ad. He shows me an ad randomly. Like, you know those ads that you get in the mail from like your local shops, okay? He shows me this ad book and he's showing me this ad for this other thing. And he closes the ad book. And what is the main cover? Massage. Someone getting a massage. An ad for a massage. I'm like, oh, interesting. Very interesting. You know, me asking for a sign. And that's number 2. And then later that evening, Heidi comes back. And she's talking about how her and her girlfriends just got a massage. And I'm like, okay, interesting. Then, the next day, I bring this up. I'm like, okay. I bring this up to Heidi. I'm like, all right. This is it. I'm going to go to fucking massage school. The signs are signing. It makes perfect sense. It will allow me to have the life that I desire, which has to do with like not working a whole bunch and just like making money to support myself, right? Because I don't need to get into it. I don't need to get into it. Okay. So I'm like, this is perfect. It's within the wellness holistic world. It will allow me to use my gifts. It has to do with the body, yada, yada, yada. Okay? 1 second. A couple of days after that, I started touring schools. I toured 2 schools. I called probably 8. That's a lie. Probably 5. And I was like fully, deeply committed to going to start a school today. I was going to start massage school today. I was going to do it. I was going to do the whole thing. So in the state of California, it usually takes around 6 months to 12 months to go to school to become a masseuse. And it's around 10 to 20K, right? Right? I was down. I found this school that was like 6 months long, 10K. I was like, perfect. It's the shortest and the quickest. Let's run it. Let's do it. Let's do this thing. Then, a couple days later, I was driving back home from my Reiki session. Thank you. Which I'm like, was it the Reiki or was it a coinky dink that I had Reiki? And then I had this awareness come to me. Doesn't matter. The point is I was driving home. And I just started getting curious with myself. I was like, why do I want to do this? Why am I doing this? Why am I about to do this? I was going to sign up that day. And mind you, all this happened within like less than a week, okay? And I just started getting a little curious. And I was like, what is going to be the difference between me going to get my yoga certification, which, if you don't know, I am yoga certified. I got certified back in July. It was a lifelong dream of mine. I was asking myself, what is the difference between me going and getting my yoga certification? And so let me do a little backtrack. Nothing has happened with my yoga certification since I acquired it. What do I mean by nothing happened? I haven't gone into a single studio. I haven't auditioned for anything. I haven't practiced for shit. I haven't done anything. Now, I had a interesting experience. More of like personal, emotional things were happening while I was acquiring my certification. And so it didn't really allow me to be there in the most present way possible, or in a way that I now would be, given the information I have now about whatever personal situation I was going through at the time. Nonetheless, I asked myself, what's the difference between me going and getting this certification and going and getting another certification? Because what am I looking for? I'm looking for certainty. I'm looking for something to make me money. I'm looking for something to happen. Okay. However, the certification is just another certification. I'm not going to magically have clients, customers, an audience, a following, money, anything. I'm not going to have any of that by simply just going to massage school and getting another certification. I have to apply myself. I would still have to go out and do the thing. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to repeat another pattern because, alas, my pattern recognition skills were firing. I'm like, I've done this before. This is the year of 2025 for me has been realizing that I have repeated a pattern already twice and I'm about to repeat it a third time. And by the grace of God and my self-reflection, I have been able to stop repeating patterns. Thank God. But you guys, seriously, I went to college, got a degree, haven't used it. It's not because I haven't tried, right? Like I've applied to over 200 jobs, be so for real. But again, I have a different awareness now. There's a lot going on, but just know I haven't used it. That's the actual answer. Besides me giving 1,000 excuses, I have not used my degree to get a job. Yoga school. I go to yoga school. Okay, girl? I go do the thing. I haven't used it. I haven't used my certification. So what in the hell would be the difference in me going to massage school? What would be the difference between me going to massage school, getting a certification? I'd probably not do anything again because I'm hoping, I think subconsciously, I'm hoping I'm going to receive a certification and like things are just going to happen for me. Magical things will just happen. And like, that is not true. That is not reality. I need to put forth effort. I need to put forth action. I need to actually apply myself. I need to now use the certification that I have. So I am at one point a week ago, I was down to spend $10,000 and spend 6 months driving driving 2 hours a day, spending $10K for 6 months to go to massage school. And so I started thinking to myself, I got comfortable with that notion. Let's see what happens if, I don't know, I just use the certification that I currently have, invest a couple $100 into taking some classes around me, maybe perhaps getting a mentor, perhaps trying some different modalities, investing some dinero in that way, and then investing like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 hours a day into honing in on my teaching skills. I'm doing this thing. So alas, I am going to be pushing myself into the yoga direction because I think I owe it to myself to give it a try. I owe it to myself to use my certification. And here's a line. I want to talk about this line I dance between. There is this, I feel this heavily in today's day and age. And maybe people felt like this years ago, unbeknownst to me. But in today's day and age with social media, I am so bothered by everyone sharing specific types of advice and techniques and things online when they're not qualified to do so. It genuinely bothers me because it's also really hard for me to like find correct information when I am seeking answers, right? And I don't want to be a person online talking about different things when I'm not qualified to speak about it. However, I feel like I got to a point, I'm talking specifically with yoga. I got to a point where I am feeling like I need to know more. I need to be better. I'm not qualified enough to teach yoga yet. That's how I feel. And I also think subconsciously there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on subconsciously. It's not conscious for me. I will be working through these things and they will be revealed through time, through action. I just know it because it's like clearly there's some fear happening here. Hello. But I don't feel scared, but I know that there probably is. Anyways, I am qualified in at least the way that it's set up in America, like I'm qualified to teach a class, so I'm going to go out and teach a class. I don't feel ready, but I'm like, the only way I'm going to be ready is by going for it. There is this meme. There's two photos, like a divided photo. The top half photo is this guy playing the piano. One guy's like sitting down on a bench playing the piano. There's another guy like listening to him play, and there's like a little verbal like dialogue bubble, whatever. And the guy that's not playing the piano says, "You're bad at playing the piano, you need to stop." And then the bottom photo is the guy sitting on the bench playing the piano, the guy sitting to the left like listening. And the guy answers him, the guy on the piano on the bench answers him and says, "If I don't practice, I'll never get good." Something along those lines. I know that sounds so just like simple and silly, but it's so true. I think I'm in a place right now where I am wanting to get more certification because I'm like constantly seeking knowledge, constantly trying to learn, but I need to actually start applying what it is that I've been learning and know that the only difference between me, like not like me and like a professional teacher, but like me, like someone starting out and someone else starting out and someone like being quote unquote successful as in like their teaching is the fact that they just did it and I'm going to just do it. I'm just going to go for the glory. I'm going to go for it. I started doing it last week. I've went to a couple studios. I've applied to a job. We're trying. I'm going to go for it. But the only way I'm going to, one, figure out if this is the right quote unquote path for me is by doing it. To circle back at the beginning of this episode, I was like, all I want is for 35-year-old Jenna to come down and tell me like, this is your successful path. And I know that that doesn't exist. I know that's bullshit. I know it's bullshit, but it's what I'm like craving. Security, stability, certainty. So if that's what I'm craving, why not apply it to the path and just pick something and then apply action and just keep it moving? So I am going to be telling myself that yoga is the right path, that this is exactly what I should be doing, as if 35-year-old Jenna did come down and say, yoga is the right thing for you to be doing. This is the right thing for you. This will be successful for you. Also, because everything is successful and everything is perfect, and I know this inherently to be true, I think I just got stuck in a little bit of like information seeking paralysis and like perfection paralysis and being scared of saying no to these other opportunities. But I know that I need to, and I've already did say no to a couple of opportunities. So I'm like, again, taking options away from me at this point. That way I will throw myself into this. And the only way I'm going to know if it's actually 100% successful is by doing it. And I know that, but I'm going to tell myself it will be successful. I'm getting a phone call. Oh my God, it's the masseuse school. So funny. You guys, I'm not going to be there. They started 27 minutes ago and like I was going to be there. If you would have asked me 5-6 days ago, I'd have been like, yeah, I'm there right now. But no, I'm not, because I'm realizing I would be repeating a pattern and I would be searching for certainty, thinking that, oh, if I go to school, oh, if I get a degree, oh, if I go do this, then it will provide me some security and stability. No, the only thing that's going to provide me security and stability is myself. And I need to stop searching for outward things to a certain degree, obviously, because it is like important for me to be certified and qualified to do X, Y, and Z. Sure. But now I'm like, okay, you did it. You passed the threshold, sister. Get out and get moving. Get after it. And I do want to say I did have time post YTT. YTT is yoga teacher certification or yoga teacher training. Pardon me. But I do feel like I've had time to now integrate. Like I've practiced every single day. I practice yoga every single day. I love yoga. I've been practicing yoga every day for years now. I love yoga so much. Okay. And my experience at my training, again, I was going through personal stuff. And I can honestly say that if I had the awareness I do now about some personal things I was going through at that time, my life would be different. But thank God it's not different. Thank God everything is happening the way that it is, because literally, thank you, God. But that was just another thing. I had to be really honest with myself. I was like, you know what? A lot of my mental energy, like I was dealing with something personal. And I know that if that thing was removed from my psyche while I was getting my training completed, I would have had more energy, mental energy, and mental space to focus on, okay, what am I going to do after this? What am I doing now during this? Connection, networking, doing the do's, right? However, that wasn't my reality because I was dealing with something. That thing has been dealt with. We are moving on. Okay? And one of my favorite questions to ask myself is, how do I secretly wish this would happen? How do I secretly wish this would go down? What do I secretly want to happen today? What do I secretly wish me applying to this job will get me? What do I secretly wish will happen between me and this person? What do I secretly wish will happen for me in my life? I love asking myself that question because it allows me to figure out probably the truth. And I've been asking myself that question. And I'm not going to say it out loud because it's personal, but I just want to leave that for you guys as well. Because I don't know, I think a lot of us are searching for something, one, outside of us to give us certainty, to give us security, to give us stability, when the only way I'm going to feel secure and stable is by going within. Like, I know for sure, I'm going to feel so proud and accomplished, which that's all I'm trying to do here. All me going to massage school, all me doing yoga and me doing these other jobs and me trying this and trying that, all of these things are because I am searching for a sense of accomplishment, security, and like, booyah, Jenna, you did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's at the root of all this shit. It's not the external, how it's outwardly expressed. It's that inward shit that like we're all dealing with, right? And so I know that if I teach my first class, like the moment I teach my first class, I'm going to feel like the king of the castle. I know that I am because it's going to make me feel accomplished. It's going to make me feel like all the effort that I've put in means something. It's going to make me feel proud of myself and it's going to do the thing. And I can do that by applying myself rather than I think I'm going to feel like the king of the castle if I go to massage school, when that would just be another external thing that I think is going to make me feel proud. That's not going to actually make me feel proud. What's going to make me feel proud is actualizing and manifesting and doing the do's. And when I say manifesting, I'm talking about turning an idea into a reality. That's what I mean. So turning an idea of like, I love yoga, I want to be a yoga teacher, whatever, and turning it into doing my first class. Or the idea that I have that I want to like make money doing something that I love. Boom. You know what I mean? And getting out of my own goddamn way, thinking that I need to be perfect and chasing another certification, another degree, more information, more knowledge. I just like get that way. I get that way where I'm like overly prepared now. And I could teach a class. Gun to my head, I could teach a class. I know that for sure. And so now I'm just going to start applying myself, and I'm not going to be running behind all of these things that are just going to like quote unquote buy me time. No, I'm going to put on my big girl pants. I'm going to put myself out there and I'm going to try. I'm actually going to give it an effort and see what happens. If maybe massage school is what I end up doing down the road, it's going to be because I have tried this first. Period. I refuse to repeat patterns. Once I know something about me, I can't not see it. And I think for me right now in my life, if I were to go to massage school, it would be me running away from something rather than running towards something. And I'm all about growth. I'm not into the whole regression. And so that's another reason why I need to pursue yoga, because to me, it feels like growth. It to me feels like I am going to actualize something about myself. I am going to understand more about myself. I am going to grow. I am going to feel more confident. I am going to be a leveled up version of Jenna by doing this. And going to massage school at this time feels like it would be me hiding, running away, and regressing. And that has nothing to do with massage, has nothing to do with yoga, it has nothing to do with any of those things. It has everything to do with internally what I would be feeling on the pursuit of. And so that's that in a bag of chips. You guys, I really don't think I have anything else to say. I think that's all I got for today. That is all I got. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. I hope if you are... Actually, I got one more thing to say because I feel like this is like a very important note. I love to encourage people to get curious about why it is that they're doing whatever it is that they're doing. I feel as though I embody this. My example is the story I just shared with you. When I was younger, if I was curious about why I was doing something, or maybe I wasn't even curious, but it was just like revealed to me that like, oh, I'm doing this for X, Y, and Z reason. Because usually the reasons why we do things like usually isn't super awesome and like something you just want to like scream from the mountaintops at like, woohoo, I'm like scared and I'm like running away from something and like I'm doing this because of fear and whatever. You must apply curiosity, grace, and neutrality towards whatever is revealed to you. Because I am being so for real, I do not care that is my truth. Not in like a, I don't care, but I just feel very neutral. I'm like, okay, that would be my motivation to go to massage school, to run away, to be imperfection paralysis, to not follow my dreams, to not apply myself. I don't at all feel bad, guilty, shameful, or I don't feel anything negative about that being my truth. I'm like, okay, that's just my truth and I'm going to make a different decision now. But I think in the past, I would have beat myself up a little bit, felt guilty, felt shame, and felt embarrassed probably. But it's just like not necessary. You're not able to grow under those conditions. So I guess I also just want to offer that as well. You don't need to beat yourself up into this. You don't need to, there's no shame here. There's no shame. Everything's all good. And I want to remind everyone else of that as well. To stay curious with yourself, to ask yourself good questions. And when the answers come, just be like, okay, cool. Right on. And then make a choice based on your answer out of a place of neutrality and a place of like, okay, I need to be honest with myself. And that's that. Now that is that in a bag of chips. So I love you guys and I hope you have a beautiful week. Hopefully this is my last unintentional episode. I really am I'm wanting to take this to a new level for myself in terms of stepping to the seat of the teacher. I want to talk more about the things that I'm interested in rather than kind of like the personal things I'm going through, as in like, oh, massage school, but regardless, have a good week, have a good year, have a good life, have a good month. I cannot even believe it's almost November. That is actually sick and twisted. I can't even start talking about the concept of time right now. No. But I gotta go. And I love you guys. And I will see you next Tuesday.